And hello and welcome to AleksTabletops Gaming Sandbox MTG Study session 132. This is Batty. My name is Alex, and today we are starting a new chapter of MTG Study. This is the beginning of the 6th season, so let's just check the sound. Today we are... Yep, sound works good. So yeah, today we're starting a new chapter of MTG Study. So the whole point of this new chapter is to transition all gaming content finally and fully into the AleksTabletops. So from now on, truly all gaming content, including MTG streams that were streamed on Twitch before, now will be streamed at AleksTabletops on YouTube, which is kind of an interesting transition. And basically, this is explains today's theme, which is changing places. So we're basically changing the place from Twitch to YouTube now, and from now on, all Magic content is going to be now only on AleksTabletops, and especially streams. This is the most important part of this transition and kind of a final. So without further ado, let's just continue to play. So till the end of the season, there's about 22 hours left. So it's a good start for us. Ideally, like officially, we will start a new season rank only tomorrow. But since tomorrow I'm not going to stream, I'm going to stream only on Friday. It's kind of a clear idea to actually start today. I'm not going to get a higher in rank anymore. So platinum tier 1. This is it for me. I'm not going to go further. So basically, in terms of these season rewards, I will get sorry about that, 3 packs and 100 gold, which is equivalent of 4 packs for platinum, 1 for limited, which is total for 5 packs, which is pretty cool. I mean, 5 packs per season kind of seems good. From now on, I'm not going to focus on getting higher in rank, and one of the reasons why I transitioned Magic streams into YouTube to basically like lift off the pressure from myself personally to stream Magic more, to stream better, and etc. I'm just going to stream casually. I doubt that we're going to have any audience on YouTube because YouTube doesn't have that big of a good rewarding system when it comes down to this. By the way, let's just get tweet the thing. I also started stream a little bit late because for some reason there was a lot of bugs and weird situations in terms of the streaming. This is the first time that I'm streaming with this program on YouTube, so it's kind of a weird, like I established a lot of tags and descriptions, but those tags are not working in this program, and this is a good chance that no one is going to be able to find us because of non-existing tags. Hopefully the name and the automatic YouTube understanding what game we're streaming will tell people what exactly we're streaming. Either way, so we're streaming Magic the Gathering, Arena. There's a lot of content, streamers of Magic Arena on Twitch, but not much on YouTube. So maybe we will kind of establish our own personal niche for it. Either way, for me, this is the best choice possible to basically switch platforms and from now on stream Magic on YouTube, because again, this is just going to be better for me from the standpoint of, again, lifts off all the pressure from playing this game better or more. I'm just going to play however I like and without that much of like pressure from anywhere, which is one of the reasons why for me this is important. So let me quickly prepare the last things and we'll continue. So yeah, now I'm seeing everything that I need to see. Let's just check the sound again and continue. Quickly prepare the last things. Good, sound works. So of course, from now on, we're going to stream in different clothes because this is YouTube red. So Twitch is purple. So whatever. Let's just go. I don't know what decks we're going to play. Since today's kind of a weird transitional session where I don't have that much time, we'll stream for approximately 2 hours, maybe less. So let's just play different decks. In previous sessions we focused on Victory Seeker. Since this is a new season, it could be a good idea to actually, and since this is a new platform, I'm not going to try to stream something that I don't want to play or don't have a kind of, I don't know. let's start with Mono Blue Future Seekers, which is a pretty interesting deck. I mean, the whole point of this deck is to counter a lot of spells, and one of the main strategies of this deck is the Eyes Everywhere, which I have 3 copies, but still. Um, uh, and these guys too. So basically, this deck focuses on Sphinx, Flyers, couple of discarders. So again, it's kind of all over the place, but at the same time, it's kind of an awesome one. And like the main idea for this deck is to take a lot of draws and get the proper cards and counter a lot of spells that the opponent basically produces. And Clear the Wine is for us to basically, if we'll manage to survive a longer game, we will be able to rebuild from that. We don't have anything that could help us to gain life though. But at least we're not going to die because of the emptying out library, which I call mill out condition of losing. For opponent, this is just a mill because opponent just mills our deck. But for us, this is mill out, so there's nothing to mill anymore. So we're out of cards. And for me personally, I decided to call it a mill out. So yeah, this deck is bigger. It's 80 cards deck because it's kind of, again, there's a lot of draws. I will draw myself out pretty quickly. So let's just go and start with this deck. Also, we'll see how Magic works on YouTube in terms of the stream. I don't know if it's going to lag or not. We'll see. We're going to take a regular play. First deck that we're going to play probably Future Seekers. Then we're going to switch to our Riot Seekers because this is one of the decks that I truly want to play kind of. Let's just start with Future Seekers. Start with something relatively simple. And also, I don't know how Magic is going to be streamed on YouTube. Like on Twitch, it didn't have any problems, and we're not supposed to have any troubles here either. It isn't supposed to lag. Everything's supposed to work fine. I have a lot of things to check this out, so I have a way to check the proper kind of conditions. The other problem is that this stream is probably no one is going to find because I didn't establish a proper tags. Because if I'm going to put tags into this program, so the problem with this program that usually I already streamed on YouTube multiple times on AleksTabletops, so I have separate streams there, creative streams that work with WWE and creative combination. So I streamed there, and there I'm streaming from YouTube OBS. And YouTube OBS actually works, or YouTube OBS, Streamlabs OBS, and Streamlabs OBS works perfectly. We have bot out there, like integrated, we have almost everything that we need there. This program doesn't have anything like this, so because of this we're not going to have any bots, although supposedly our bot is Body. So occasionally we're going to basically use Body as our bot. No thanks, I kind of want to... I don't want to get into the rest. Although opponent would probably sacrifice the counter spell, so it's kind of weird. But I don't want for the opponent to look what we have in our hand. So that's the main idea. Also, lately after an update, games started to lag for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, hopefully after tomorrow's update, are going to clear this out. After a new season, there's going to be a scheduled maintenance, and after this maintenance, hopefully everything is going to work properly. Because right now Magic is not working properly. Like sometimes when I'm putting cards in play, there's this big lag that it wasn't before there. So if you're going to see lags, target opponent reveals their hand, you just no. Again, don't want for the opponent to see and know what we have. Although if opponent will see what we have, it's not going to change anything. By the way, pretty awesome Sphinx. The only problem I have only one copy, so I rarely getting it into my open hand. But when I do, it's pretty cool. So, because before that, opponent might think that we were playing mono blue tempo, but in reality, we're not playing mono blue tempo. This is a completely different deck, so kind of it. So yeah, again, and because of the fact that for some reason, like I set up tags in this program, so I need to set up every description for every part of the stream inside of the program itself, not on YouTube, because YouTube scheduled streams kind of ideally has to automatically adapt when I'm going to stream, and once I will launch program, YouTube streams will automatically Oh, good. Now we have a scry. Oh snap, this is good. We still don't have enough lands for it, but this is a good thing. At some point we might switch. For now, let's just stay in block. This deck is not necessarily aggressive. It will be aggressive if we have a lot of flyers and opponent have 0. That way we will be able to aggressively kind of press opponent. But since we don't have anything like this, let's just take a route of slow defense, and hopefully we will get to a big, better situation. Well, we already need to think who is going to steal. Ideally, since this deck revolves around flyers, I'm probably going to steal the flyer. But since now opponent has Radiant Destiny, this is something that is going to hurt us pretty bad. Okay, this is pretty interesting situation. So ideally, let's just for now skip. This is not something that I would block. Well, also, I just finished streaming creative on Twitch. This is one of the reasons why I decided to move creative streams. This is the oh, this is kind of, I don't know. Nope, we don't need second copy. Okay, this is kind of fine. So yeah, this was one of the reasons why I decided to transition Alex MTG Study to AleksTabletops, because I wanted to have more creative streams. I had to do something about this. I had to. Okay, we need that, because then we will be able to play these things. It will actually establish a pretty good defense. So we're probably going to skip that one too. Okay, opponent decides not to attack. Interesting. Okay, we keep land. Keeping land. Now we have 2 scries. So, go. And let's return this one, because that way opponent is not going to attack. Which means that we could actually attack with 1 Sphinx, slowly start to penetrate defense. So now it all comes down to what we're going to get, but since we have a scry, we will be able to predict what we were going to have on top of our library, and this will help us to choose properly what to play and what to keep or what not to keep. Since we have a lot of counters, ideally the more counters we will get, the better. So for instance, right now we missed the opportunity to counter Alenda, which is a bad thing. She's not necessarily a big threat at this point, because the opponent is going to get put a +1 white or vampire's token but lifelink equal to the Elena's power, which is a big one, but hopefully she's not going to get bigger. So because of this, we probably will keep counters, because we still kind of have advantage, and it's probably time to actually steal Elenda. She's not going to become big. I mean, in its current state, she's just 1/1 creature. I would rather probably keep counter, but the opponent is going to continue to press us with Elenda, though. It's not going to be good. This flyer bonnet by its own is just 1/1. Elenda is 1/1/2. Or 2/2. Either way, we have to skip her, or we have to steal her. And let's stay in defense for now. Yes, we gave opponent scry ability. We don't have any counters, but hopefully it will work in the end. So yeah, I still need to kind of find a way around this MTG Study on YouTube. For me, this is just something that I never did before. I get that YouTube is not that good in streaming. You have to already have an established audience in order to stream on YouTube. If you're going to start to stream on YouTube, no one's going to find you, usually, unless you will establish proper tags. And since I don't have ability to put tags in this program, all tags that I want, so for instance, description works, the name works, but when I'm starting to put tags in this program, it just basically breaks. And the only way to make sure it's going to work is... Okay, we have to skip that one too. I don't want to lose Sphinx. Pretty bad situation, we're probably going to lose that one. Yep, we don't need that, we have more than enough. Okay, okay. Let's go the same route. I doubt that opponent is going to draw something good. Let's just continue to return flyers and penetrate the opponent with flyers. Probably should attack with Siren before. Kind of kept her in for defense in case opponent decides to kill us with one attack. We still have Elenda. She will give us life. The fact that opponent has Scry, kind of a bad one for us. It's not the best situation ever. So usually these Magic streams are going to be now in a different time, so it's not going to change, the schedule is not going to change. If you watched us on Twitch, we're going to maintain the same schedule. The only thing that we're going to stream on Tuesdays English streams and on Fridays Russian streams. That's it. So the only thing that will shift is the time. We're going to stream them two hour late a little bit because of the creative streams. So first thing that we're going to stream is creative streams on Twitch, and then right after creative streams we're going to move. Yep, we don't need that. This is an interesting situation. So we have to push through. I don't know why opponent is not attacking. Next turn opponent will probably press us hard. I mean, there is time to start to press us. Because if opponent is not going to press us, it's just weird. So yeah, Magic streams are going to be on Tuesdays, English streams, which is today, and okay, we're going to cancel that. These guys are small, but the more of them, the worse for us. So next turn, oh snap! If we would attack with the Siren turn before, we would probably win next turn because opponent has only one flyer blocker. This is a shame, by the way. This is the place where, again, we have a pretty weird deck. It's not usual deck. Because of this, opponent probably not prepared for this deck that much. Because usually you play Magic by predicting the meta game and what type of deck opponent potentially plays. And when these predictions are not utilizable properly, when you truly don't know what opponent might play, that seems pretty bad. We're probably going to die though. Opponent presses us with everything that he has, so we have to block with everything that we have now. And there's going to be probably more than enough to kill us. 4, 8. Yeah, we have to block with everything. Because if we're not going to block something, Elenda is not going to give us proper amount of health. So let's just go that way. Opponent is, even if opponent will, oh no, opponent will tap this flyer and give +1. We're done. Yeah, we're losing. No, opponent decides not to do it. Okay, that was interesting. So Elenda gives us additional blockers, which is good, so we will be able to survive. And after she dies, we will put 2. Not enough, actually. Return target creatures to its owner's sense and draw a card. So we have to do this now. Return flyer. Now, this is not something that I would want. And again, not enough to kill opponent. This is the problem. I mean, we're going to bluff. Again, we could attack here, but next turn we're just going to die. Because of this, we have to stay in defense. This is a weird match, by the way. We're on the verge of dying, and we're still able to, like, the whole match, and we're still able to kind of survive. I believe because opponents should attack us much more often. So usually I'm playing Magic as RPG, not usually, almost every game that I'm playing as RPG, so if you will see the RPG nickname, that means that you played against me. Although I'm not a gamer, I'm not playing that much. The only game that I'm playing usually is Magic. On AleksTabletops here I have a separate um, kind of root of games, series like Tabletop Game Study. MTG Study is a part of Tabletop Game Study, probably the main part. Oh, damn it. Yeah, we're losing. We are losing because next turn opponent is just going to kill. No, we're not losing. Next turn there is a possibility for us to actually survive, unless opponent is going to kill one of our creatures. So, yeah, I'm also making videos for Brain Games Days, Storytelling Games Days. Once I will create all proper YouTube specials for Brain Games Days and Storytelling Game Days, we will return those as streams, because ideally they were designed as streams. I actually streamed them for quite a bit on Twitch, but then I decided to pause them because there was no audience for them, and I just basically, it took too much time for me personally. But I still have this plan to stream Brain Games Days on Wednesdays and Storytelling Games Days on, yeah, we're done, and Storytelling Games Days on Tuesdays or Thursdays, not Tuesdays. So basically Wednesdays and Thursdays are Brain Games Day and Storytelling Games Days. Between the Magic Days, and basically like 4 days in a row ideally. In the future we will be able to stream if everything is going to be good and cool. But since gaming content is not the main content that I'm creating, I want to focus more on creative, because I'm an artist in heart. Yeah, we're done. And also I forgot that opponent actually has Vicious Conquistadors, which are pressing us pretty by attack. So yeah, I don't know. I might win, maybe, if I played right, but I doubt that. Either way. Yeah, our first game was pretty unsuccessful. Let's continue. And since I'm not a gamer, I don't want to create gaming content only. I'm creating gaming content as the addition to creative content. So it's probably like not main one at all. Because of this, I don't want to focus too much time on gaming content, and because of this was one of the main reasons why I transitioned MTG Study from Twitch, because everything that I'm streaming on Twitch, it's kind of super serious. I mean, this is truly something that will push me as an artist, or help me as an artist. And when you have a Magic there, you start to feel down a little bit. I'm not going to talk about creative that much, by the way, during AleksTabletops, unless we will start to create our own games a little bit later. Let's just draw cards. Okay. Yeah, we had a quite black here. So yeah. Let's just stay in counter spells. Now opponent has more than enough, and we're going to counter everything that opponent has. Like 5 mana, there's going to be some big creature in play. We'll be able to counter only one of them because we have only 3 mana, and we actually have 4 mana, but nope. Opponent still has 2 mana with this. Okay, good. Perfection. So now we're just keeping countering spells. This is the whole point of this deck. This deck is the Future Seekers. We seeking for the future. We countering spells, and then basically this is a full control deck, I would say, that revolves around flyers. This is not good. And the problem is that we don't have enough mana. And mana shortage is not allowing us to. Either way, we will be able to counter lots of spells, so probably should stay in defense. But I actually 100% sure that opponent will play something. We'll allow that. I don't want to use counter spells on anywhere else. Opponent has a bunch of them, I believe. Although mana is the main thing for this deck. Okay, good. And I doubt that opponent will put something with 3 mana. Okay, we're going to counter that one too, because it's a pretty good attacker that we're not able to block at all. But now we run out of counters. So because of the fact that we don't have any counters now, it's probably a good idea to force opponent into a past. I mean, so now it will force opponent into kind of starting from the beginning of the game, having 4 mana and putting 1 by creature per turn. And now opponent starts to make different decisions, which is good for us, which means that we're probably going to counter Druid, if we will get a counter spell. That we didn't, so kind of a problem. So yep, now let's just put a big creature in play as a pretty good defense, return one of our elves back, to not allow opponent to produce additional mana. Well, we could attack with this guy, why not? Not that big of a deal. Again, this deck is weird, but I kind of like how it works. Since today is the first stream on YouTube, there is a good chance that we're not going to stream full 2 hours. I don't know. I'm kind of not feeling it that much. Basically, we'll see. It all comes down to. I'll just start attacking. It all comes down to how I'm going to feel. This is one of the reasons why I decided to put all Magic streams here, because on Twitch I have a strict schedule, but on YouTube I don't necessarily have a strict schedule because there's no audience. On Twitch at least someone is going to watch me, hopefully. Okay, we have to block this one. Yep, we're going to lose 7-7. It's a shame. But 8-8 will die too. It's actually 5-5, but whatever. So now opponent end up without creatures almost, and we still have 1. Opponent actually has a lot of non-creature spells, like 2 Blanchwood Armors, Declare Dominance. Oh, this is bad. This is one of the strategies for the mono green decks with Mono Ramp. I mean, it's just putting Carnage Tyrant later. That's it. Screw you. Negate. Actually had only 1 copy of Negate before. Needed to craft 1. That was interesting. So hopefully we will manage to kill opponent faster than opponent is going to kill us. Because opponent now probably not going to be able to kill us next turn with 1 hit. Unless opponent is going to kill our Sphinx. We managed to survive. That was a good one. So again, it's a pretty weird deck. It doesn't have that many big threats. It has lots of Sphinx. Sphinx in this deck basically allow me to sustain defense, or build up defense and also build up offense, depending on the situation. These small creatures like Arcanists help me to have more mana to utilize cheaper spells, basically spells like this to draw more cards with mana shortage, and also pay partial cost for counter spells. But again, the fact that we won... How many matches we already played, by the way? 2 or 3? This is the 3rd one, I believe. We lost the first one, almost won it against vampires. We won 2nd one, and this is our 3rd one. After this match, we're going to switch to other deck. Usually I'm playing 3 matches for 1 deck and then switching. It's kind of a best of 3. But even if I'm losing 2 matches in a row, I'm still continuing to play a 3rd match to basically see how this deck shows itself in 3 matches. Maybe I should play best of 3 though. I don't know. I'm not going to focus around just a constructed single play. Personally, I like best of 3 better, but the problem with best of 3, it just takes too much time. Once best of 3 will get into rating, there is a good chance that we're going to play best of 3 more. Target creature to its owner hand. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to play that one, so we don't have any counter spells. Opponent has, I believe. So we're going to lose Arcanist, which is fine. This is the creature that I'm actually I'm fine with losing. We don't have troubles with mana. So once we will put a Mystique in play, the game basically starts. Although this deck is not built around Mystique necessarily, I had one copy of it before. Now I have two. I crafted another one. Ideally, of course, I would build the deck around Mystique, but it's just kind of a supporting card because to create one of the win conditions. Okay, we're playing against Flyer deck, which is fine because we have lots of Flyers. So here we need to think. So since this is a Z deck, deck with a lot of Drakes, that means that the opponent has lots of spells that we will be able to use negate form. So because of this, the probably smarter choice would be cast this one, return Drake, and keep Spell Pierce for next turn. And attack with the creature also. Because we can. Opponent has Search for a Scantage, which allows opponents to look through the library and decide what to keep, what to put in the graveyard, which basically supports the Enigma Drake strategy. Oh, what the heck was that? Stream lagged. Quality of the stream is quite fine. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not supposed to be perfect. Okay, so opponent might have a counter spell, but we still need to cast Mystique though. Usually opponent needs 3 mana for counter spells. Most of the counter spells cost 3 mana. There are a couple of them that cost, they're a little bit more specific, like Negate, that only counters non-creature spells, and I forgot how the separate one that focuses on creatures only costs 2. Okay. So far we're actually more than fine. We have more than enough time. We still have... You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, this is not good. 3 Drakes is not good. Opponent got mana screwed with Drakes. Screwed with Drakes, too many Drakes, I believe. Okay, drawing 3 cards and scrying 3 seems like a good idea. That way we will produce an additional blue. But at the same time, keeping Sphinx and returning one of the Drakes seems kind of a better solution. But it's actually going to work later, because now we could actually skip a couple of things because opponent doesn't have additional draws. It's probably the better choice is to play this against Spell Pierce. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No. So we're going to draw 3 cards, yes. One of them is 100% needs to be probably a land. But I believe that one of those 3 cards is definitely has to be a land. And most of the cards in my deck actually cost 6. I don't believe that we need 3 lands. Although I need one of them. No, let's just take 1 land. You gotta be kidding me. Shouldn't. Whatever. Because, like, I didn't thought that we're going to have, like, 4 lands one by one. But, miscalculated. Either way. Hi there. This is just a regular constructed. It's not even an event. I'm just playing for fun. Yeah, we can't do anything about it. Just a regular play. Since I'm playing casually, I usually don't have money for draft, so kind of usually playing constructed best of 3 sometimes. Just playing interesting decks that I'm usually trying to create. So interesting situation. So next turn we're going to die regardless probably of what we're going to do. We're not going to be The only thing that could save us, though, is returning one Drake. Also, this is our first stream on YouTube. This is 130-second session. Before that, I streamed only on Twitch. Now I transitioned on YouTube because I want to maintain streams only for creative streams. So from now on, I'm going to stream on YouTube, which is not going to have that many audience because I don't know how people are actually finding people on YouTube because there's not that big of a search for streams. So today our kind of first stream at the beginning of the new season. This is the sixth season for MTG Study, which I am streaming for a year, something like this. My channel actually has lots of things regards to that. Okay, so this is kind of it. Just playing a regular constructed, nothing special. I know that people like more drafting, and I kind of want to draft too, but again, unfortunately, just don't have money and resources for it. And usually, draft takes time, which I don't have usually to play Magic. Sorry about that. That was quite a sneeze. We have to play that one. Don't have another choice. Target player shuffles their graveyard into their library. This is actually an interesting solution. I might do. It's actually better to do for the opponent, not for us. Because if opponent is going to lose all cards, Drakes will become 0. This is a pretty interesting thing. And this is I never thought about that one though. Like to utilize this clear the mind for the Drakes. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have a counter spell though. Opponent not going to be able to use Sabotage, not enough blue mana. Yeah, perfection. And the good thing is that from now on we will be able to counter lots of spells. And also, it could be actually a good idea to start probably pressing opponent maybe. Or maybe still stay in defense. Opponent has one card. Another card will be drawn. Drake will grow. No, let's just stay in defense for now. Because there's a good chance that I have to protect myself next turn, either way. And if 5/5 Sphinx is going to stay in play, there's a better chance that opponent will stay in game. Oh snap, this is bad. And of course this guy can't be countered. This is the worst situation ever. Snap. We have to try to counter it. The reason is, by the way, is to trigger it and get additional thing. I know that I'm not going to be able to counter it. Yeah, Nif Mizzet is basically killing us now. I'm not going to be able to do anything. Sabotage, continue to stay in block. But opponent is just going to slowly kill all of our small birds. Whatever opponent is going to play. With each counter, there's going to be additional draw. Yeah, we're kind of losing. So now opponent will probably utilize a combination of the Beacon Bolt. No, Beacon Bolt is not going to do anything. 0 cards in graveyard. Skippity beep. Oh, Lightning Strike. No way. Yeah, I'm going to sabotage it. Yeah, this is the problem with Mizzet. I probably should quit though. I'm not going to be able to win this. But still. I kind of learned how to play this deck. After I created it, I didn't play that many matches with it. But I kind of like the idea of it. I'm not trying to create like super efficient decks. I'm playing Magic casually for fun, and sometimes this is, by the way, one of the reasons why I removed it from the Twitch, because you know when I streamed Magic on Twitch, it was kind of a I don't know. It was kind of an additional pressure for me to play better, to play smarter, to create more efficient decks, and etc. For me personally, this is interesting. We're basically killing ourselves by Nif Mizzet, too many spells. We will be able to counter everything, but Nif Mizzet's still going to kill us. There's another one, and 1 health. Yeah, again, this is stupid. This is one of my, like, I hate this card personally. I mean, Every time that opponent is playing even that deck, I'm getting super frustrated. So yeah, I'm not trying to create like super efficient decks, because this is one of the reasons why I basically moved Magic to YouTube. Because when I streamed Magic on Twitch, there was an additional pressure for me to get better, to play better. I didn't want that. I just wanted to play Magic the way that I want to play it. I don't want to. I don't want this additional pressure of spending too much time on building like super efficient decks and spending too much time on playing in order to basically extend your collection. Because the only thing that I can is the only how to properly say it. The only thing that I can do in terms of the playing Magic and how to space my collection, because of the fact that I'm playing as a free-to-play player, I don't have resources to spend on the game. The only resource that I can spend on the game is not money, is time. And since I can't spend too much time on Magic because it's going to hurt my creative, my main content, because of this, it's basically for me kind of a weird situation. Okay, this is interesting. Probably should take it. Although it's pretty risky, but we should take it. Don't ask me what these lands are doing here. Ideally, these lands are not working in this deck. The only reason why I put them here because this is a strictly Gruul deck. Okay, we don't have anything red. Let's just create an illusion that we play in a 3-color deck. One of the things that I like to do, by the way, throw away opponent when it comes down to. It's probably going to be killed by murder. Fungus infect, fungal infect. 3 fungal infections. Oh, combination of moment of craving and fungal infection. Okay, interesting. Cool. So I'm pretty chaotic. I'm pretty chaotic when it comes down to thoughts. So bear with me. I will get to the point that I'm trying to get to. Okay, at this point it's better to put Domri.
A little pity up before the real fun begins.
You gotta be kidding me with Atlas Reborn there. Damn it. Ugh. So it's pretty frustrating when you're constantly losing, and I'm not going to be frustrated if I'm going to lose when I'm going to create the decks that I want to create, not the decks that game forces me to create. So this was the main probably reason for me to. One of the main reasons. Again, there was too many reasons to switch Magic to YouTube. One of them was just to lift up the pressure that Magic creates for me on Twitch. We need good blockers. Although this is a removal deck, we're probably going to lose it right away. But I couldn't play both of them though, so. Actually could. No, couldn't. Of course, opponent stole Domri. It's pretty bad.
You're gonna hurt when this is through.
So yeah, I just want to play Magic on my own terms, which sometimes when you stream it's pretty hard because people kind of expecting you to play better or whatever. So this is kind of a common situation, usually transpires, or at least you putting a pressure on yourself because you have to play better, because other way no one's going to watch you. So this is kind of an interesting way of dealing with this problem. Yeah, we're going to maintain mirror.
Those go there, those go there.
That was an interesting choice. Ratata. I thought about removing this card from here. It's not necessarily works that well. I have only 1 copy. But when it works pretty good. Also, this deck is kind of specialized around Riot ability. Since we didn't get anything with right, we're going to lose. Opponent is going to steal all of our cards. Right now, opponent probably will steal 5/5. There's 100%. Yep.
A little pick me up before the real fun begins.
These decks are kind of an interesting ones. I mean, opponent plays the deck that basically adapts to whatever opponent is playing. These decks are kind of annoying, but at the same time kind of cool. Because the opponent basically survives by stealing creatures from us. Okay, let's take that one. 0. Perfection. At least we have blockers, so I'm not going to survive for long. And of course, making like a bunch of copies of this one would be pointless because they're not going to be able to attack. Defender. Yeah, Mirror March is a pretty interesting card. So yeah, getting back to what I discussed. Yeah. So again, since today's theme for today's stream is switching places or changing places, we're basically discussing the reasons for me to quit streaming Magic on Twitch and transition into YouTube, AleksTabletops. Before that, I actually planned on continuing to stream Magic on Twitch. One of the main reasons why I decided to actually take this change this, is because I created AleksTabletops. Before that, I didn't have AleksTabletops. All gaming content was on my Alex Connects channel, and it became too crowded there for gaming content and for creative content. It was kind of undecisive what exactly the content I had there, so I had to switch. I had to I had to create a separate channel for games. I had to, because at some point I got so much of the gaming content that I had to transition this gaming content from another channel. I actually have now gaming content more in quantity more than creative content, so which is weird. How many things you can produce in a year. I'm going to die slowly, but I'm kind of still waiting for something to come. My opponent is going to kill. Let's just quit the game. Now we don't have a choice. Why it didn't work? Okay. It worked eventually. So yeah, and again, I will try to talk about all the reasons while we're playing. Why I decided to basically transition MTG Study into YouTube. One of them is again to lift off the pressure that I felt there. One of the pressures was focused around the fact that my Magic streams kind of distracted me sometimes from my creative streams, and I needed to do something about it. Okay, this is pretty bad. We don't have anything red, and without red, this deck is not working. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, I probably should do. I probably should deal with the mana fix for this deck. The reason why I put so many lands like this right here is because I thought, okay, I have a pretty decent amount of basic lands. Now I need to create a lot of double color lands because we have a lot of multicolor lands here, multicolor cards, to kind of balance things out. But when you get something like this, it's just too slow. Although this deck is not fast at all. It's kind of a mid-range in terms of the speed. Mid-range deck could be fast if you properly build it. Okay, let's set up defense. Yeah, and we're playing against aggressive Merfolks perfectly. So yeah, let's just continue to explain the reasons. Again, This was one of the reasons, because Magic is basically kind of distracted me from creative quite a bit, and I always felt guilty when I played Magic and not streamed creative. It was just a inner gamble inside throughout the year. Then, of course, love this guy. By the way, only right now open it. Before that didn't have any copies. Now have it, so cool. Not going to be able to utilize it, let's just keep it in block. Although we're going to lose this game too again, just too aggressive, and we had definite problems with mana. I definitely need to get mana fixed, because this thing is not working. I mean, before that I thought, okay, cool, I have lots of like unique lands, but now I'm seeing that they're not utilizable at all. Especially if you will get like multiple copies of them in your hand right away. It's just not working at all. I would say it's kind of even annoying. Yeah, this one is perfect, by the way. I wish we would be able to utilize it a little bit earlier. That way it would be sick. Now we will be able to double mana that we're tapping for playing spells. Basically, that means that we will be able to play more spells per turn. I have only one copy 2. And I'm constantly getting it, which is weird. Yep. We're losing. Yeah, let's just go through the quick mana fix. This deck is complete crap because of it, as I would say. Where is it? So, again, one of the reasons why I put multiple copies of this, because I had more than enough mountains and forests, and I kind of thought, okay, I will definitely get at least one mountain and forest, and the other lands I'm going to just put in play the way that they're, because of the fact that they have at least one of this mana in them. But as you see, it's not working. So, because I just have only one copy of this. Let's just go this way. 42 greens. But again, mostly we have multicolored. By the way, lately I'm getting a pretty interesting artifact that works with multicolored cards. I have like 3 copies or so. Yeah. Multicolored creatures you control get +1/+1. It could be a good idea to actually put this artifact here, because I have so many multicolored creatures that it's just like crazy, more than 50% of the deck. But at the same time, this deck is not all about this. This deck is all about mana ramp, and then aggressively, or not aggressively, but somehow kill opponent with combination, the big combos. Yeah, let's just keep it the way that it is. This is one of those decks that when I'm playing it, it seems like I have too much mana here. Because we have 4 land of our elves that produce mana, we have druids that produce mana, we have, no, okay, this is not necessarily produces mana, we don't have any dragons here. Produces mana, produces mana, produces mana, produces mana, doubles the mana produced. So, and still having 22 lands kind of seems relatively fine. But sometimes I'm definitely getting mana flooded. So, one of the things to make this deck better is to work with the mana fix. But because of the average Chimera mana cost is 3, more than 3, I kind of need a lot of lands. And since creatures are not that reliable as a mana source, they're pretty easily getting destroyed usually. It's not necessarily a good idea to get rid of the lands and hope that creatures will give us everything that we need, because it's just not going to work like this. Either way. So yeah, getting back to reasons why we're switching Twitch on the YouTube in terms of the Magic. Again, ideally, if I would stream Magic more than 2 times a week, if it would be my main content, I would probably better create a second account on Twitch, AleksTabletops, and stream Magic there. But again, since this is not the case, and since I'm streaming Magic only 2 times a week, it's not enough for subscribers to get invested into the subscribing, or followers to get invested into following. I understand that I'm not going to create enough content to get noticed when it comes down to the Magic streams. So why bother continue to stream it on platform that I'm not going to get successful in this game? So it's just like, come on, like, especially when you have like different content that you want to succeed when it comes into creative. So this decision mainly was kind of focused around this thing. I want to be fair for the followers, I want to be fair for subscribers. If someone follows me or subscribes to me, I want for this person to get the best of out of this subscription or follow, and actually get something. But when I have only 2 days, and since I separating those days into languages, so we have like 1 English streams per week and 1 Russian streams per week, which means that I basically streaming just 1 stream per week for a certain language. Okay, this is interesting. Still not going to be able to play anything. Love this card. This deck is basically needs to be built around this card, but since I had 0 copies of it when I built this deck, and I just required 1, this deck's supposed to work better. So we down an hour of streaming, which is cool. We'll stream for approximately an hour or so. Still kind of want to make this stream as usual, because there is a chance that we're going to stream even less, because of the fact that now streams are moved for a later time. It's not necessarily convenient for me to stream, because for me, like right now it's a 1 AM in my area, so it's pretty late. I can't scream that much. I can't be super exciting because it's going to be too loud. This is one of the reasons why I'm talking this that way, like kind of chill, because I don't want to create. Yeah, I don't want to create any noise. Oh snap! This is pretty bad. We have to attack. We have to push with both. We need mana. Red and green. And now let's putting Sarkhan could be a good idea. It could distract opponent from hitting us in the face. But at the same time, putting creatures in play could basically be better. No, let's just put Sarkhan in play.
Let us fight. Bolus told me I should.
Let's discard one of these guys. We don't need 2 copies. We're not going to be able to utilize both of them. I'm probably going to die. Again, my hope that opponent is going to be distracted by Sarkhan and stops drawing instants and sorceries to trigger Gutter Snipe. It's a pretty weird deck too. Again, we see a lot of mana here. It's probably a gate. I don't know. It's weird. I don't even know how to categorize this deck. It searches for a lot of mana. It's probably built around Binfire and Gutter Snipe. Snap, we get another copy, which we didn't want to though. Okay, still good. So
I don't need this.
I'm still going to drop one of them. Perfect. And we have to press. We have to press. We're not going to press with this one, but we're going to press with this one. So yeah, so continuing with the reasons and with the whole transitioning thing from Twitch to YouTube. So again, this is a positive thing. So it might seem like not because I decided to give up streaming Magic. No, it's actually kind of like I still want to continue to stream Magic. I just don't want this pressure that Magic is building for me personally, because I know that YouTube is not that good platform for streaming when it comes down to discovering yourself for a new audience. It works more for those who already established an audience. Okay, this is interesting. We're actually going to win that way, hopefully, or at least we will force opponents into full block. Because if it will not, okay, if it will enter battlefield with trample either way. Give all creatures, so it's better to have counter on it. Now let's press. Yes, perfection. So yeah, finally we won with this deck. It was, by the way, the last match with this deck. We played 3 of them. Let's just switch now. Hey, what are we going to open here? Come on, man. Another one. I probably have already 4 copies. Okay, good. So let's just switch. So the next deck that we're probably going to switch is the Bite Seekers. This is the new deck that I created for Grind. This is just a vampire deck, nothing special. The whole point of this deck is to basically win without that much of a problem. It's kind of pretty heavy in terms of on mana. I mean, it's not easy to play. I don't have that many small creatures. It's actually pretty similar to, in terms of the heaviness, to a Riot Seekers that we played now. And it doesn't have that much of a mana boost. And I usually have lots of troubles with mana here, though. It's kind of annoying. But hopefully, but most of the matches I actually winning with it because of the certain combination of this deck. Sanctum Seekers, the guys that basically after beginning life draining opponents passively, so it's a pretty cool deck. If we will get proper cards, and usually it starts pretty slow, but then it basically grows into something a little bit better. So yeah, I'm going to go through the same talk on Friday, but in Russian. We're going to talk about the reasons why I switched streams from Twitch to YouTube, because again, this is kind of the whole point. This is the beginning of the new season. So this is the season 6. Now the season 6 is going to be on YouTube, and all new videos that I'm going to upload are going to be uploaded there. I'm not going to keep streams in this quality, so after this I'm probably going to make them unlisted, so they're not going to be public. And a little bit later in a week I'm going to upload them in full HD, the same way as I did with Twitch. Although if we're going to chat, like in order to maintain chat, I mean usually chat is visible right here either way, so like one of the reasons why I decided to display the chat is to not to keep streams themselves, because all chat things are shown in here in order for people who potentially could rewatch it could see what we chatted about. But the problem is usually I don't have that many. I don't have that many chatters usually. So okay, here we have 2 strategies. Usually I'm not putting Sanctum Seeker too early in play because it's just going to be removed. Ideally the perfect situation is to put a lot of Call to the Feast, Vampires, and like in general play as many Vampires as possible, and only then put Sanctum Seeker in play and attack and deal lots of damage passively. It's all about patience with this deck though. We need to be patient. Okay. I guess there is a good chance that opponent is going to use mass removal next turn, so it's going to hurt pretty pretty much. So because of this, what we're going to do, we're going to tap those guys. We're going to steal away, not steal away, but just steal probably this guy in order to steal some the freedom of colors from opponent. So the next turn, ideally, we're supposed to win with Sanctum Seeker, because we're going to deal lots of damage with vampires. If we're not going to get anything except Sanctum Seeker, this is the play to do. But there is a chance that there is a big chance that opponent is actually going to kill us. All of our creatures. Nope. So yeah, this is one of the coolest things about this deck. Like, I'm actually winning with this deck pretty often. More often than with other decks. So yeah, the second decision, I guess, was it's just a purely psychological thing. Like, before that, I didn't have a creative, I didn't have a separate gaming place for AleksTabletops, which is AleksTabletops now. And because of this, I kind of thought, okay, I will create all content in one place, and maybe then I will, if I will need to separate it, I will separate it. But for now, it seems logical to create it in one place, and it worked for quite a while. But at some point, when I completely transitioned all content, as I said before, from YouTube, from my AleksTabletops YouTube to AleksTabletops on YouTube, and now every gaming content is here. Then at the beginning of this year, okay. That was interesting. Then at the beginning of this year, I transitioned, or moved, whatever you want to call it, Brain Games Days and Storytelling Games from Twitch, and the only thing that I basically kept on somewhat creative kind of platform for me, because usually, originally Twitch was created as a creative platform. I added the games a little bit later, once I knew that Magic attacking kind of seems weird, but we have to push. So yeah, that. So I added Magic a little bit later, and since we didn't have any Magic Arena, I streamed other Magic games, Magic Duels, Magic Duels of Planeswalkers, all games starting from 2012 and ending with 2015. And all these videos and all those sessions are actually on YouTube here on AleksTabletops, which is pretty cool. I have this archive of streams right from the beginning and up to the end, which is awesome. It's always a good thing to look where you started and where you basically going and where you're now. Like, keep the progression. It's pretty bad. Probably going to lose this one. We still might have a chance though. We'll probably utilize cards. So for flyer blocker, we're going to put Vampire Severian. It's going to be probably the next card that we're going to play if we're going to get a proper land. Ideally, Twilight Prophet we need to put only after Call to the Feast, once we will get enough permanents to get to Ascend. This one probably should be put the last one. Although we could potentially drain opponent with it, but I doubt that it's going to work. So yeah, since, as I said before, this is the only play that we could get. Okay, we need mana for Vampire Severian. Well, next turn we're just going to play Twilight Prophet, which is probably going to be removed pretty quickly. But the thing is, we have 4 cards, opponent has only 2. We still have kind of advantage. We actually have advantage, overall advantage. The only thing that we don't have advantage is in mana. Kind of getting mana screwed. Okay, now we don't have an advantage.
Wasn't meant to be contained.
Stupid Planeswalker. VVN. So, yeah. And once everything was basically kind of transitioned into YouTube type AleksTabletops, I'm kind of started to think to myself, why the only content that I have on AleksTabletops Twitch AleksTabletops is Magic, like Magic the Gathering. Like, please, why? Like, before that, it was logical to keep it there because I had a plan on starting to create my own tabletops games there, and I kind of wanted to create slow transition from one to another. Oh snap, we didn't get a sand. Oh, this is bad. An opponent is going to kill it with Vivian Ray. This is pretty bad. Yeah, we're dying. There's no way to win this one. The opponent has Tyrant. Carnage. Carnage Tyrant. And we're dying. So yeah,
No one said restoration
of course.
was painless.
So yeah, this is by the way second match. We're going to play the last one and switch to a different deck. So yeah, where was I? The reasons. So yeah, and once I actually transitioned all content, almost all content, and the only thing that I kept there is magic, I'm starting to think to myself, okay, why I'm keeping magic here? I have to switch. Magic is just not working here. Like I still planning on creating my own tabletop games on the creative sandbox, not on a gaming sandbox. We're probably going to play them on a gaming sandbox. As a result, we probably will add additional streams. Probably will maybe we'll replace them with magic streams in the future. But since there's a long way to go before we'll be able to create our own tabletop games, like.
Meet my newest friend.
Magic is just basically kind of taking from Creative Sandbox something, and I decided, okay, we need to create a gaming sandbox separately from Creative Sandbox, and keep Creative Sandbox on Twitch, and gaming sandbox is going to be on YouTube, AleksTabletops, and from now on, everything that we're going to create game related is going to be on one platform, which is personally for me psychologically is super awesome, because now I have one platform that deals only with games, and the other two platforms, Twitch and Alex Connects on YouTube, that deals with the creative. That way, kind of, my main concern is always going to be Alex Connects, creative part, and I'm going to give my the rest of my time and strength to AleksTabletops. Let's just kill this guy. 4, 5, 6. Going to gain 6 lives. We're going to lose 4. Good. Okay, so this is an interesting situation though. I mean, maybe we're even going to be able to... No, we're not going to be able to survive. The only thing we need is a pretty good destroyer for demon. That way we might actually survive. But again, since opponent has a poison departure, we're kind of down. Not going to be a good one. Of course.
Out of here.
Yeah, let's just quit the game. It's going to be a pain. Save time. So yeah, and these are just one kind of a big reasons why I made this transition. It just needed to be done. When you feel, by the way, never played against Mythic Orange players. Apparently, I never played a MTG Arena team members. I don't know actually who actually plays against them. It would be awesome to play against Magic Arena team member at least once. I'm playing Magic pretty, like, I play Magic a lot, and I still didn't face any Magic Arena players. Probably because I'm streaming in the time that they all sleeping or working. So maybe this is the case. This is the downside of having a completely opposite time zone. And for me personally, like streaming English streams and streaming creative streams, it's kind of like when I'm streaming Magic, when I'm streaming English streams, I understand that I'm streaming them in a time that English audience is probably not going to watch them. But I still want to create an English streams because of the longevity of my content. I want to create content that will be interested to all around people, not just one person, and not just one like only Russian speaking audience or only English speaking audience. I kind of want to diversify in this area. And I get that when you try to diversify things, it's much harder to create a constant content. People get more success when they're focusing on something, on one niche, and not trying to diversify that much, and only then trying to diversify. I started kind of right away from diversification, which was kind of a mistake maybe, but at the same time, my idea was that if I'm going to start to diversify, create content on English. By the way, I started create content only in English from the beginning. I truly started from English content, I believe. Only. But it didn't get anywhere, and I started to add Russian content. And now it's pretty hard to maintain this balance, and on AleksTabletops I'm actually creating like 50% of English content and 50% of the Russian content. Although ideally I believe in general there's going to be more English content than Russian. Which for me is fine, I mean. But it's pretty hard because when it comes down to the audience, like when an audience makes a decision of subscribing, usually this decision, you gotta be kidding me, is going to be made from the standpoint, okay, what the most type of content you're creating. If you're creating, like in most cases, English content, I'm going to subscribe to you or follow you because you create this type of content that I'm invested in or interested in. But if you're going to create a content that is completely with a different language that I don't understand, why bother? So when you're getting into the business stuff, there's always like a lot of small things that are going to stop you from making certain choices. But I decided personally for myself that I'm going to make those choices regardless, and because of the future aspects. If I'm going to choose to stream Magic, I'm streaming it not just for the success of it, but because I want to create a archive of proof before I will create my own tabletop games that I know how to play those games. I understand those games pretty well to create them. Because if I would just started to create, I'm probably going to be a counterspell. Nope. I actually got lucky. Quite a lot. So, so again, I'm not doing all this diversification for the success reasons. I'm doing this for the longevity reasons and for the perspective, I would say. So since I know that at some point I will start, oh, this is pretty good. Since I know that at some point I will start to create my own tabletop games, I need to create some type of a transitional thing from not creating tabletop games and getting experience in tabletop games and then starting to create ones. But if you don't have this transition, there's zero competence when you start to create your own tabletop games. No one is going to believe you that you actually... Oh, snap, I didn't have that one. Pretty cool. Creatures your opponent control get -1. Sick. And the last match. So, or this was the last match. Either way, let's just play one more. So, and because of this, like, I mean, every decision that I'm making, like, to keep Magic on YouTube or to switch Magic from, or to keep Magic on Twitch or to switch Magic from Twitch to YouTube, all these decisions are kind of always concern the perspective. It's yes, of course, I'm thinking about what it's going to do now, but in most cases, if it's not going to work in perspective, I'm not going to make this decision. But usually all these decisions are supporting the perspective of it. So perspectively, I believe I will gain more by streaming Magic here than there. Although there are much more possibilities, but right here, there's just more chance to get something from it. And also, again, as I said before, it's just it just works best for me. You gotta be kidding me. We're having troubles with mana all the way through. almost every freaking second. Every match we're having troubles with mana. In previous match we won because we didn't, and we still didn't had a 1 additional black mana to utilize our best cards. It was super annoying. Oh snap. Using Excellen's Binding on EZ decks, this is going to be superb, so let's just hope that we will get there. If opponent has Drakes, stealing Drakes will force opponent to possibly quitting. It's going to be an interesting one. I don't believe that we have to steal Goblin though. Although opponent might have at least like 2 or 3 copies of it, I don't believe that it's reasonable to steal it. Vampire. Okay, here. Ideally, let's just go a little bit slower. We'll gain lots of lives with entering creatures. So yeah, so because of this, because of the fact that gaming content, I needed to separate gaming content even like psychologically, because for me it's pretty hard to maintain this balance when you don't have that much time. You have to create both contents and you have to spend small time, but it accumulates pretty well. So for instance, 2 hours of streaming seems like not much. Okay, this is interesting. I have to skip that one. So it seems like not much, but it accumulates, it adds up, and the more it adds up, the harder it basically takes toll on you. So like for instance, I'm creating for AleksTabletops, I'm creating content by streaming on 2-hour streams, and also in addition to that, I have separate series Magic MTG Quick Study, which is a series of short matches. It focuses on learning from your own by rewatching your own matches and learning that way. Okay, this is a pretty weird deck that we're playing. I mean, it has a lot of common cards that give weird abilities. Like, this is a freaking vanilla creature. What is doing here? Why? Okay, we could leave that. I don't know what opponent has, so it's pretty hard to make decision what to use Excellen's Binding at, like before. So let's just take it slow. Keep Excellen's Binding for something big, because I'm still interested in what this deck is all about. I don't get it. Like never saw. Maybe this is a super cheap deck, probably a budget deck. But even though if it's a budget deck, I still want to see what this deck is all about. Okay, so there's a good possibility that this is something that we need to sacrifice, actually steal. Let's just kill that one. It's pretty annoying. And now we're definitely going to steal Fire Urchin with Excellen's Binding, because I believe this is the exact strategy that opponent utilizes. But a little bit later, not now. Right here we have to set up some offense. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy at this point by the fact that we could transition to full all gaming content from all creative platforms. So now there's not going to be any confusion for me, because sometimes I'm getting confused when it comes down to the content creation. I mean, it's pretty hard to prioritize when it comes down to the creative content and gaming content sometimes. Sometimes you feel like you have to push gaming content more than creative content. Sometimes you feel like this gaming content steals from you, from your creative content. And the separation of the content on separate platforms will actually help me to resolve this issue. Okay, now opponent has Ral, which opponent will be able to play probably 4, 5, 6 next turn potentially. We have to keep Excellen's Binding intact. Not going to use it. Let's continue to push opponent. Never saw this Ral getting utilized though. opponent, like people are usually not playing this, not crafting this RAL. Well, has not speaking. Interesting. He's so unpopular that they didn't even create a voice for him. A voiceover. This is interesting. So yeah, it's time to actually play RAL, because it's pretty annoying. So again, it deals 3 damage divided if you choose among 1 or 2 or 3 targets. It's just like crazy. Also, it will help opponent to get additional draws, which is something that opponent needs in order to utilize Fire Urchin ability. And let's just stop that. Next turn we'll be able to put Sanctum Seeker, which is a pretty decent blocker for Boar. Return target creature to its owner's hand. You may search your library for a graveyard for RAL. But that means that this deck is probably built around RAL. You wouldn't put this card if you had only one copy, although it's questionable. So, Cold Beast. Next turn, Sanctum Seeker. But ideally, we're still not enough to push opponent. Opponent still has a pretty big offense though, and pretty decent defense. Not going to be able to push through that well. Oh, cool. You may cast an instant sorcery card from your hand without paying its mana cost for 3 and tap. Cool. So here, ideally, I wouldn't wanna. Yeah, I'll just skip that one. This is not perfect. Not perfect. So here it's probably better idea to push. But I'm good to push with only one. Still kind of want to keep those guys in block, because the opponent might continue to press me. We have about 30 minutes till the end of the session, maybe less, maybe probably 20 minutes, maybe even less. Maybe we'll stream for 15 minutes more and we'll end up on 1 hour and 45 minutes of streaming. Because I kind of started a little bit late because I had troubles with setup. I made the setup before, but because I didn't know how exactly it's going to work, I kind of launched it, it didn't work properly, I had to relaunch it, and now it works kind of fine. So the question is what to steal. Because 08 is a pretty big problem. It's going to kill us pretty quickly. Flyer, kind of a big problem too. But at least that way we'll be able to penetrate the fence. Yeah, let's just try that one. That way we'll be able to attack with Flyer and slowly kill opponent. Hopefully we'll kill opponent faster. And since opponent doesn't have additional draws, I doubt that opponent will give Cyclops Shaman that much. Although, it's pretty risky. Now it all depends what opponent will get. Okay, so have to kill that one, and that's it. Skipping the rest. Hopefully we will survive though. Yeah, that was cry for help attack. I don't know. And this is perfect. Yep, I guess opponent is potentially quitting. We could attack with all of them though. Yeah, we'll attack with all of them and we're going to win. Unless opponent has something to change the situation. I'm passively going to deal lots of damage. So yeah, good. We won another one. Again, we probably lost only one game with this deck, or maybe not. I don't know. Switching. So the last deck that we're going to play, for a reminder of the 15 minutes, is probably going to be so probably Convoke Seekers. We didn't play Convoke Seekers at all, like during the streams, I believe. Yep, let's just take Convoke Seekers, play them. So quick overview what this deck is all about. It works with lots of small creatures with value, couple of damage preventers, but ideally it's a token deck that works around then putting big creatures cheaper and faster. I have only one copy of this one though. Nothing special. It's probably the worst version of the Convoke deck that it possibly can create. But again, budget deck. Don't have that of an extensive collection. My collection is pretty limited. So I'm actually starting to consider like maybe like for now I'm just buying boosters. But at some point probably I have to play limited more than I played it before, because like before that I tried limited for a couple of times and I kind of liked it, but I like limited formats. But I'm actually waiting to play limited formats such as draft or sealed only when they will start to make those not for gems but for the gold. For now we have only one format, limited format. It's just a regular draft, single. Oh no, playing against Bill. This is bad. Come on, man. Okay, we have to steal it. It's a shame that we don't have steal away, by the way, because we're excellence binding, because stealing that one with excellence binding would definitely annoy opponent. Of course, opponent has lots of copies, and we're not going to be able to steal all of them, so it's kind of a problem. So we need to play Loxodon with tapping for now. We have to hopefully kill opponent faster than opponent will be able to kill us. So opponent will probably remove. This deck 100% has mass removal in it, since it has white in it. Usually mill decks are one color decks. Just blue. Yep, Cleansing Nova. And because of this situation, opponent usually adds Cleansing Novas to it to support the mill ability. So yeah, I guess I finished with the reasons why we transitioned from AleksConnect to MTG Study, from AleksConnect to AleksTabletops on Twitch, on YouTube, from Twitch. Again, the reason is just simple. There's too many reasons. Because sometimes when you decide to do something, there is just one small reason that you're not sure of. But in my case, it was not just one small reason. It was a lot of big reasons and a lot of small reasons. And one of the biggest reasons was supporting the perspective of it. And although I'm still kind of bummed out about the fact that I'm not going to stream Magic on Twitch at some point, to some extent, it's completely fine, because it's just going to be best. I did the best that I could for me personally. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Yeah, we're completely getting monoflotted. This is a complete waste of time. We're going to put it in play, and opponent is going to use another Cleansing Nova next turn. So it's kind of pointless. Either way. So yeah, for those who didn't watch us before, we had our avatar that basically helped us on Twitch. It was Tony, and Tony was actually our chatbot that helped us with lots of awesome advices, especially creative advices. Since this one doesn't have it, okay, this is interesting. Let's hope that opponent doesn't have a counter spell, because if this one is going to be countered, I'm going to cry. And it's going to be countered. So yeah, before that we had Tony, like 24 avatars with Tony. This is the zombie. Oh, that was quite big. So yeah, this is a keep one. This is crying. Yeah, if this guy would be countered, I would cry. And this one is basically like yelling. And this is our hello, which you're going to see the most. Ideally, later I'm going to add those as emoticons, as emotes on YouTube. But since I'm not going to get partnered on YouTube anytime soon, I believe it's not going to be able to utilize. Also, ideally, I would plan to install a chatbot right here, like body, and create certain the same kind of thing as I created for Twitch, but I actually doubt that it's going to work. By the way, if I'm going to attack right now with our guy, opponent is going to use settled wreckage on it. So because of this, we have to keep 1616 in play for now, since it's undestructible, and force opponent to use settled wreckage on different creatures. Yeah, we're getting mana flooded here. Completely mana flooded. Probably should attack with only one creature only. But again, usually when you attack with two creatures, it's a little bit better incentive for opponent to actually utilize Settled Wreckage. If I would attack with only one creature, opponent would keep Settled Wreckage, but more likely. It's just the psychological aspect of it. But when you attack with multiple creatures, there's a good chance that opponent is going to, okay, this is a better trade-off. Since I have to do it, I better do it now. Snap, this is perfect. Hopefully there's not a counter spell there. No, there is a counter spell there. Nope, there's not. I doubt that opponent has another Settled Wreckage, so we have to risk it. Because if I'm not going to risk it, I'm done. No, there's another Settled Wreckage. Or at least steal away. No, another Settled Wreckage. You gotta be kidding me. Ugh. Usually one, but again, we don't have any lands in deck. We truly don't have 0 lands in the deck, like maybe like 5 of them left, considering double lands. So now everything that we're going to get has to be no land related. And since we still was able to steal a pretty significant card for the opponent's strategies, like a corrosion, I don't know. It's a shame that opponents stole Conclave Tribunal, that we have at least 3 copies of it. That means that we're not going to be able to steal Rebirth. You gotta be kidding me, this is the worst case scenario. Settled Wreckage for the deck without creatures. Oh, whatever. So yeah. Oh, we already have 4 cards, I completely missed it. I truly thought that we had more cards than that, but again. Double Excellence Binding, search for lots of cards. And opponent actually get rid of the most of them. It was the worst matchup ever. I mean, mill out the deck or mill deck versus a convoke deck. No matter how many things I will produce, opponent will use Cleansing Nova to wipe them out. So yeah. Also we get mana flooded quite a lot. So yeah. So again, love the decision that I made when it comes down to the Magic. Again, part of me kind of thinks that we might stay on Twitch with Magic, but again, it's better to actually transition from Twitch to AleksTabletops completely. And if I would stream gaming content more, it would probably be the better idea to create a separate channel on Twitch. But since this is not the case, and I'm streaming gaming content on rare occasions, that is just I decided whatever, we have to make this one, and it's cool. Of course, I have to kind of adapt to it. I have to make proper search terms in order for this thing to work, because I don't believe that people are going to be able to find us that way. Like, I'm going to tweet every time that we're going to go to streaming. This is, by the way, probably our last game, or not. No, we played only 1 match with this deck. Or no, we actually played 2 matches, one of them we won. Yeah, we killed opponents slowly. Or not, I don't remember. I have a pretty severe headache, so sorry if I'm not. And it's time to use Lexidol. Because in a couple of turns we might die. Because the opponent has pretty aggressive pirates. You're rarely seeing those pirates, but I actually like those pirates. I would build them too if I had those copies of cards. Which I don't have, so. We kinda need more mana, but I wouldn't want to lose Lexidon though, but we're actually going to lose a lot of life. We're not going to block this 4-3. But it probably would kill us though. Good. So now we have pretty enough mana to probably use March and put a lot of tokens in play. 1, 2, 3 creatures, 4, 5. Gotta be kidding me. Yeah, pretty aggressive pirates. They were pretty quick. So yeah, we don't have another choice but just putting this one in play. So ideally we need to block. So I'm probably not going to... Oh, no, wait a minute. Let's just do it on opponent's turn. It's better. Because that way we will be able to block. No, we're not going to be able to block. Yeah, we can't block and at the same time put these things and make them block other creatures. It's not going to work. But we need to gain lives. And it's probably better to cast it now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at least 3 creatures were well created if we're not going to tap those guys. If we're going to tap those guys, then 2 more. 5. Yep. So basically we're creating creatures with lifelink in order to regain lives if opponent is going to cast. So that way we actually have more than enough to block most of the creatures. And next turn we will think about using Conclave Tribunal on one of the most annoying vampires or pirates. Okay, good. So now 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's remove this guy. It's definitely one of the annoying ones. And since opponent doesn't have that many things now, no, actually going to end up with only 1 creature blocking. It's not enough. Next turn. And of course we're not able to push yet because we have only 3 stupid lives. Opponent might actually get to kill us with just 1 direct spell. There is a chance that the opponent might put direct spells there. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 small creature. Again. So basically, there is a chance that we will be able to survive with only 3 lives. Nope. Ah ha ha! That was sick. That was a good one. Probably should attack though. If I would knew though, but it doesn't matter. Opponent would still kind of still will be able to survive. Maybe we'll get some additional lifelink thing. Yeah. Yep, we're done. It was a shame. So yeah, that was our... No, that was not the last match. I don't remember how many matches we played. But we actually need to finish. But I kind of want to earn last card for today. So let's just play till we're going to learn last card. So yeah, so again, this decision to switching to AleksTabletops is the best decision for me. And for now, since I don't have audience to let down, I'm going to make decisions that are the best for me. Of course, this is logic. And even though if you have an audience, there's always you always have to make decisions that will be best for you. Because if you're not going to if you're going to follow only what audience wants for you and not going to listen to yourself, you're going to lose yourself in the end. And it's just going to you will stop to create a proper content because there's not going to be any drive for creating this content. If you make decisions that will support whatever you feel, there's more chance that you will produce content that you love. Counterspell. Nope. So yeah, and for me personally, I will play Magic a little bit more happier. I will be more happy playing Magic, I would say that, if I'm going to stream it here. Just because it just lifts up this pressure that I don't need from Magic. I just want to play for fun. I want to create fun content. I want to experiment on streams. I don't want to play for win. I want to play for experience. And I want to play for unique experience. And because of this, I want to create decks that will provide me this unique experience without getting too frustrated about the fact that I'm constantly losing because my decks are weak, which was the problem with Twitch that I had in most cases, which bothered me a lot. Okay. That was quite interesting. Let's play AleksTabletops now. If opponent is not going to use Master Removal, which I doubt, we actually could do it next turn. Because there's just not enough time. It's probably one of the quickest games that we ever played with this deck. But it's not end. It's not the end though. Not going to be able to prevent combat damage. And again, it will prevent only combat damage. We have to understand that. Again, the opponent probably will get mono screwed. Let's just attack. And I don't think we need to. I don't believe that we need to attack with all of them. Let's just attack with these guys only. I doubt that opponent will have something that will give life. Prevent the damage. Yep, damage preventers probably. This is one of the reasons why opponent is not quitting yet. Okay, which means that we'll probably have to go with this. Although putting so many creatures in play doesn't seem like a good idea. Because opponent will prevent at least a couple of turns. But at some point, opponent will utilize Cleansing Nova with white mana. Opponent needs another white to use Cleansing Nova. Opponent probably has separate removals. Like this. Okay. Still good. That was, by the way, a good idea to put this one. If we didn't put this one, we would probably lose. Cool. So yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, oh. Come on. Okay, this is pretty cool. I mean, this card is pretty interesting. I had one copy before. We got a second one. I believe I had one copy in one of my Speed Seeker decks. Or I had it here, so let's see. Nope, not here. Not Rage Seekers. No. Where's my mono red? Where's my mono red? Did I delete it? Oh, Speed Seekers, yeah. I had it before in my Speed Seeker deck, but then I removed it. Maybe having two copies could be a good idea, but no, it's actually not working with this deck that much. And ideally, I had to win with this deck a lot of matches, but the problem is I don't. In tournament, I actually, not in tournament, but in rating, I dropped one tier with this deck by losing 8 matches in a row. it was the worst case scenario. Although this deck's supposed to win. Before that, this deck had I forgot what it had. Experimental frenzies, but I never utilized them well. So yeah, I guess we're going to slowly wrap up the session. We're now going to go and play another match, which is going to finish like in 3 minutes of speaking, talking, and that's it. So again, we'll continue to stream Magic, so the fact that we're now streaming on a different platform doesn't change the fact that we're going to stream Magic. I don't have intentions to finish streaming Magic. Doesn't matter if we're going to have viewers here or not. I still want to create streaming content because for me personally, this is a way to test out my language skills, explore those language skills, learn to speak and talk with others. And each English stream that I'm streaming is for me to get myself out of my comfort zone and learn how to speak properly, learn how to get my point across better. And since I started streaming, it helps me a lot, even though I don't have the audience that I would want to in terms of the size and engagement. I still pretty happy about the overall results, like what we're getting from it. I mean, at least what I'm getting from it. And I'm still producing content. It's better than not produce anything, which I did throughout the years. I just dreamed about creating content, but I didn't create a content at all, which was kind of frustrating because personally I love to create stuff, and for me even creating a gaming content is still a good thing. You know, although I don't like games that much and I don't play games that much, like the fact that sometimes I want to play games and by playing them I'm not just going to spend time senselessly, instead of it I'm going to create content that potentially someone would enjoy. So it's better for me personally. So on that note, we're going to end this session. Thank you for watching, thank you for being here. Have a nice day or night, and see you in the next one. Again, in English, it's going to be next Friday. Friday? What? Next Tuesday. And this Friday is going to be in Russian. And again, all those streams are opened for English-speaking and Russian-speaking audience because we always can switch the language. The only thing that, like, the language in the game will stay the same. By the way, one of the things that I lost with transitioning into YouTube is a lot of extensions that Twitch gave us. The extension to look through the decks, the extension of seeing what decks I'm playing now, and etc. But this is the price to pay when you want to make this transition for you, that is best for you, because I don't believe that anyone used them at all either way. So yep, on this note we're going to end this session. Again, right after ending this session I'm going to I probably all 3 videos of MTG Quick Study is probably already uploaded. Usually I will upload it right after the stream, after 2 a.m. in Moscow time, Moscow Russia time. So because of this, we'll probably already have like 3 new videos right after the stream. So I will basically make the stream settings a little bit better. This was just like a test stream for us. It was the first stream on YouTube for Magic. So we'll continue to stream. Hopefully it's not going to take too much toll on me because now I have to stream 2 streams in a row, like stream creative streams 2 hours, and then after these 2 hours stream Magic streams for 2 hours more. Hopefully it's not going to kind of affect me that much. The reason why I'm right now kind of down is because I have a pretty severe headache. Lately I'm getting a lot of those. So because of the lack of sleep. Once I will, come on man, once I will get used to all this schedule, it's probably going to be much easier. Yeah. Either way, that's it. Body says bye, and see you in the next session. Bye, bye, bye.